from an original POW location to a work site?
Well, we moved from that camp to Kawasaki, Japan.
And were you moved from another POW location to a Mitsui facility, or was that Kawasaki camp a Mitsui facility?
It was the Mitsui facility.
And what type of facility was the Kawasaki camp?
Well, the building was an old remodeled office building, 2-story. And it had a compound, I'd say, of about 1/3 of an acre with a high 10-foot wooden fence around the area.
So it was a manufacturing facility, or what were the products or the type of work that was done at that facility?
Well, a lot of longshoreman work of shipping, and there's a lot of coal coming to that facility and was shipped out from there.
I see.
And then there was a pipe manufacturing plant connected with it.
Who requested that you be sent to this facility, do you know?
I don't know.
How many American POWs or internees were at your work site?
At first there was about 300.
Why were civilian internees there?
There weren't any.
There were no civilian
No,
internees?
that's correct. Not to my knowledge.
Were there other nationalities other than Americans at that work site?
Not when it first started, but later on there was some Japanese.
Javanese, that would be
Yes.
from the Dutch East Indies,
Yes,
from
that's
Java,
correct,
from
yeah.
what is now Indonesia.
Yes.
And were they military prisoners of war, or were they civilian internees?
No, they were military.
I see. And then over the course of the time you were there, did additional prisoners come there?
Yes, there was additional prisoners came, and then some of us were shipped out to other camps.
I see. Who provided the facility that was your living quarters, where you lived and to which you returned at night to sleep?
Mitsui Company.
The facility that was your living quarters, where you lived and stayed during the night?
Yes. that
And
was
who
Mitsui.
staffed your living quarters?
Japanese soldiers.
Soldiers. Who
Well,
supervised?
excuse me, I
Yes.
guess there were some civilians there.
Japanese civilians who
yes.
were in your living and sleeping quarters?
Not in the quarters itself, they had a different little barracks for them.
I see. Who supervised your comings and goings at your sleeping quarters? Who was in charge of you when you were not at the work site?
The detail we were to go to was we had a Japanese honcho come in to get us, but we were also accompanied by 1 or 2 armed Japanese soldiers.
I see. And at your work site, once you got to the place where you were to be working each day, who was supervising you?
The Japanese honchos, but they were the Japanese soldiers stayed with us at all times.
They did. And the honchos, would you define that a little bit? Were they civilians who were in charge of you?
Yes,
And did they have on then civilian clothing?
yes, that's correct, they did.
And so is that how you could tell under whose supervision you were at a given time, by the fact that it was somebody in civilian clothing rather than an Imperial Japanese Army soldier?
Well, yes, yeah, they gave the orders and saw that we did our work.
I see.